welcome to another installment of Metalhead Central, the show where I take an honest look at the harder side of music and give it an honest rating. Today we dive back into the rabbit hole of death metal. And since my review of a certain band who coined that term didn't exactly go over so well, for the past week I have been submerging myself in death metal, trying to figure out why the people who like it so much. Been working my way through Banger TV's essential death metal albums of the 2000s, and I listened to Nightmares Made Flesh by Bloodbath, and it is an incredible piece of death metal art. It's got the catchy riffage on it that I like, it's got the brutality on it that I know a lot of death metal fans enjoy, and it works. It just really, really works. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. And right now I'm working my way through Slaughter Cult by Exhumed. But today, as far as death metal is concerned, we're going to be examining an album from a band that have brought a lot of class and culture into the genre. I mean, these dudes look like they just got done at the local symphony when they play on stage. And they brought it to the genre that's well known for its morbid lyricism about blood and guts, and its rough chugging riffage. Yeah, it's Fleshgod Apocalypse, and their new album, Veleno. It was released May 24th on Nuclear Blast. Fleshgod Apocalypse is a death metal band that is able to achieve something that a lot of other death metal bands cannot. They are able to balance catchiness and interesting, complex, well-played musicality while sacrificing none of the brutality or heaviness that the genre is well known for. This is an album that has a lot of moments on it that would qualify it for the slab album category, but they're balanced out with a lot of nuances that make the album an absolute delight to sit through. The album begins with one of the best album openers I've ever heard in the track Fury. It's aptly titled as well, as the band hold nothing back, ripping off riff after riff after riff after riff. But no two riffs sound similar. On this track, or any other track, they all have their own distinct personalities, and that works well to the band's advantage. The band don't let anything up, as the following two songs are in-your-face, no-holds-barred symphonic death metal. But as I said, it's done with a sense of class and musicality that a lot of other metal bands in general, not just death metal bands, but metal bands in general, they can't claim that on their music. It sticks with you, and it's a lot of fun to hear. The band does a great job of lulling the listener into a false sense of security before bashing them over the head with a giant riff or an amazing orchestral section. Then they have a small choral track. It's basically just the choir and a little bit of background ambiance. On any other album, this would feel completely out of place. But on a Fleshgod Apocalypse release, it feels warranted. It's like it's needed to smooth out the rougher edges of the album. This is followed up by 3 or 4 songs of sheer symphonic death metal power. Again, they do an excellent job with balancing out the catchier stuff and the heavier stuff, and it works. The guitar solos through this section of the album are also quite interesting. It's not just fiddling with the neck of the guitar for no apparent reason. It seems like there is a purpose and some thought put into each separate solo. Sometimes they'll go high in the registers if the song to that point has been pitched in a higher key, or sometimes they'll stick lower if the song calls for it. That's what makes the solos on this album successful. It's not, look at me and how great of a guitar player I am. It's, what does the song need? What can I do with this solo to benefit the song and the person listening to it? To close out the album, the band relies heavily on the symphony in one track. It's almost operatic in nature. It's rather beautiful. The heavier death metal in the other track, it's really, really crunchy. And then their album closer is one of the most beautiful instrumental piano tracks I've ever heard. It takes a lot of guts to close out a death metal album with a piano track, but it works. The piano brings the album down to a level where the listener can contemplate and reflect on what they've just heard. But even the piano track is a bit of a banger, okay? As in, the dude bangs on the keys. I mean, you can tell he is hitting the ever-loving life out of these keys. You ever heard of tickling the ivory? This dude is destroying the ivory, okay? On the downside, sometimes the band can get going and do a little too much, and that makes the music feel a little muddled, a little bit too blended. You can't tell where the orchestra is, where the guitars are, where the bass is. And maybe that's not totally the band's fault, as the production, while excellent in a lot of ways, can make the music feel kind of one note at times. But that is a tiny, tiny criticism, as I thoroughly enjoyed my journey through this album. So far, this is Death Metal Album of the Year for me. It truly is a delight. I'm giving Veleno by Fleshgod Apocalypse a 96 out of 100 on the YPS scale. Thank you so much for watching. Click like, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for more Metalhead Central. Next week, I'm going to try and do a double review, guys. My favorite black metal band of all time, Darkthrone, is putting out a new album, aptly titled Old Star, and I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I'm also going to be checking out one of the goofiest bands out there, but goofy in a good power metal way, though. Gloryhammer, and their new album, Legends from Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. It's sure to be a fun ride, and I hope that you'll join me. You've been watching Metalhead Central, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I'll see y'all next time.